Welcome back, everyone. I'm Tom Murphy, and this is Trinidad Now on Trinidad Times Television. Again, segment 3 with lifelong resident Karen Griego. And this segment is on management. That's the broad term that I use. As a city council member, what is your role in government?
My role in government, I'm one little piece of a very large machine called the City of Trinidad government. My job is to give all the information given to me, to research that information, make decisions, but I fully believe that you got to use staff and for the input that they can give us is invaluable. You know, I don't, being on city council isn't as glamorous a job as everybody thinks it is. You know what it is? In a nutshell, you're trying to do the business for the City of Trinidad. You're running a business known as the City of Trinidad. And it's a pretty, I think it's pretty mundane, except for some of the controversies that come up every now and then, where that it fills the city council chambers, but that I don't think happens very often. It's just, and that's why I ran, because I've been very successful in business, and I think I can use the same principles in my business and address them to city council. I'm there to lead, and I think the best definition of being a leader is being a team player.
And as we talked about too, no matter what you do on council, you're going to make some people upset.
I know I am.
So.
And if anybody knows me, you know how upsetting that is for me.
Right.
You know, I thought animal welfare was a walk in the park, that everybody loves animals. I got taught a good lesson, and I'm prepared to do that.
They don't, do they?
No.
No. And that's a shame. I've always had animals.
Yeah.
But what relationship should council have with city employees? For example, if an employee came to you to complain about their supervisor, how would you respond?
There's a chain of command there. You know, I'm open to listening to things, to complaints or problems. If it's my understanding that I am to direct those problems directly to that person's supervisor and let them direct it to the department head, who then brings it to the city manager, who then brings it to city council.
Right.
We're the last link in the chain.
I bring that up because I just know we've evolved quite a bit. But back in the day, 20, 30, 40 years ago, they went to a city council member who beat up on the city manager and...
Well, you know what? This is the truth. Trinidad is a small community. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people that work for the city. I've heard some of their problems. I've listened to them. And I'm there to help solve them, but within the realms of what a city council person is supposed to do. I'm not going to buck that system.
Okay. So you've talked about this a little bit, but how do you define leadership? Leadership
is getting the information that's given to you and making decisions that will serve the majority of the people that you are representing. You are representing the City of Trinidad. If there's something on an agenda that people are upset about or concerned about, you need to talk to City Council. And I believe that that's what my role is, to be one small piece of a big machine that takes care of the business of Trinidad.
Okay. Can you explain what the council manager form of government is?
Well, absolutely. The manager takes care of the day-to-day business. He's the point guy. That's who everybody, it's the chain of command. You have employees, you have department heads, and it goes up and up and up. And if that chain isn't followed, the system doesn't work.
Right. In the papers this weekend, Pueblo is looking at a possible mayor council type of government. Colorado Springs has it where John Southers is the mayor/city manager. Denver, Hickenlooper, I forget who the mayor is now. They were elected as the mayor, which is also the city manager. Do you think that type of government would ever work here?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't I wouldn't personally want that type of leadership or governance in this community. You know, the city council, you'd almost have to be a permanent city manager if you ran for mayor.
Right.
And that's, I like in Mr. Rico's position. He's done such a great job. He does, in addition to the work for the city, he does the PR for the city. I firmly believe that that job takes two people to do it.
Yeah, I just bring it up because I know some people think we need
No.
someone from Trinidad to run the city, and it's like, but if you don't have the training, it's a specialized,
No.
field. It's not.
It's very specialized, and you have to have an education.
Right.
Can you imagine what you have to know about the infrastructure of the city? You have to know a lot about a lot of subjects, and I don't believe that should be with just one individual.
Okay. I'm going to combine these last three questions. What is executive session? What can be discussed in executive session? And what if an illegal or improper decision or discussion would take place in executive session? What would you do?
It's called the Sunshine Law.
Oh, I know.
Okay. The only things that are to be discussed in executive session is personnel matters, period.
Right. Okay.
What would I do if something,
Right.
I'd walk out.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you take an oath when you're inducted or appointed or elected to that position.
Right.
You take an oath to uphold the law. So.
In all the time that I've been there filming the last 12 years, they always read before they go into executive session that if anybody, and when they come out, and nobody's ever done that. I know in my interview with current Mayor Phil Rico that there's been some heated discussion in some of the executive session, but I think they've resolved it before they've come out. So that's just my take on what he had to say about it.
It's yeah. I think, it's, I just started going back to city council meetings because I thought I better educate myself
Right.
a little bit better after I made this decision. But I was very impressed with overall the way the city council dresses, and they present themselves in a very professional manner. Can you imagine the chaos that would evolve if they started, I mean, there's heated arguments in front of the camera and in front of the public. There's some things that are best done
Privately.
privately.
Okay. Karen, we're going to move on to the last two parts. And for some people, I just asked, especially like the incumbent, and that they know what the referendums are. So let me read these to you and then
Okay.
ask yes or no. I think that would be the easiest way because I don't want to just have you rely on your memory. But referendum number 2. Shall Section 8.3, Paragraph 3 of Chapter 8, Boards and Commissions of the City of Trinidad, Colorado Home Rule Charter be amended to allow one-year residents of Los Animas County who are registered to vote to also serve on city boards and commissions, excluding the Planning and Zoning and Variance Commission, provided that the majority of the board or commission always be comprised of city residents, all as set forth in the Trinidad City Ordinance number 2037, Section 1.
Yes, I'm agreeable. When I was on the tourism board, if you know the demographics of this community, there's a lot of people in the outlying areas,
Right.
in the subdivisions that are incorporated Trinidad. And we had an excellent candidate for a tourism board that wasn't qualified because his restaurant was downtown, but he lived in the outer areas. So
That has been a difficult situation. And by my recollection, they allowed it briefly and then they realized that it wasn't legal. So this is how they're addressing it, from
I
my
think it's a great
recollection.
idea.
Okay. Referendum number 3. Shall Section 8.5 of the Charter of the Chapter 8, Boards and Commissions of the City of Trinidad, Colorado, Home Rule Charter be amended to clarify that City Council serves as the Planning, Zoning, and Variance Board of Appeals to hear and decide appeals and decisions rendered by the Planning and Zoning and Variance Commission, all as set forth in Trinidad City Ordinance number 2038, Section 1.
Yes.
Okay. referendum number 4. I'm having a little problem reading because I have one contact in, and
That's
so I'm
all
doing monovision, and it's been out for a while, so I'm having a little problem focusing.
Take your time.
Okay, I could do this with one eye like this. Shall section 8.6, paragraph 1 of chapter 8, boards and commissions of the Home Rule Charter for the City of Trinidad, Colorado, be amended to require the frequency for development and submissions of a master plan by the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board be once every 5 years, all as set forth in the Trinidad City Ordinance number 2039, section 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It really is hard to focus. Shall section 12.6 of chapter 8, general provisions of the City of Trinidad, Colorado Home Rule Charter be amended to clarify that all permanent/full-time employees, except administrative employees, have the right to bargain collectively with the city, all as set forth in the Trinidad City Ordinance number 2040, section 1.
Yes.
Okay. We are almost done. Last part, as I explained. Okay. Whether you take 30 seconds or 30 minutes, this is your opportunity, Karen, to say whatever you want to the people that are going to be voting. And so what I'm going to do is don't talk to me, but direct yourself to the camera over there and just say, you can say whatever you want. I'm going to sit here quietly and watch.
Well, I want to thank you, Tom, first of all, before I do anything else. This has been really interesting for me. But I just want to tell people that I'm running for City Council just as a personal commitment that I've made to this community to give back to a community that has given so much to me. It's a good time of my life where the business pressures, the family pressures aren't what they used to be when I was younger. I've got a lot more time to devote to City Council. I have a varied experience both in the profit corporation business world, in the nonprofit corporation world. I've volunteered for many organizations in Trinidad. I believe my business acumen is good. I have a good, solid business background, and I will use the intelligence and the experience that I've gained over the past 40. Okay, I'm just going to say it's 68 years that I've been a resident of Trinidad. I appreciate your vote. If you have confidence in me that I will do a good job, I respectfully request that you vote for me. Thank you.
Karen, I want to thank you. As I've said to all the other candidates, what I find exciting after filming all these years is so many people running. That gives us a lot of opportunity in people, and it means that people care enough about their community because it is a time commitment.
It is.
So it's a good sign for our community.
It is. Anthony Mattei thinks it's because things are going so well, and he's probably right.
Right, yeah. Well, as we talked about previously, I think there's a general feeling of things getting better.
It is.
I mean, we've ridden it, you've ridden it through the years. I've been here since the 80s, and I've seen the ups and downs, and it's hard. But hopefully this is going to be one like Pueblo. They reorganized after the mine or the steel closed. And now look at them. And I think we're just a junior Pueblo. We just got to shift gears.
You know why Pueblo's so big? Because half of Trinidad's moved up there.
Yeah, you go up there and you see, you always do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Karen, thank you. No, wait. Anyway, everyone, I'm Tom Murphy, and this is Trinidad Now and Trinidad Times Television. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't.